Magandang tanghali, Malacañang Press Corps, and welcome sa ating press briefing ngayong araw, October 11th. The Philippine Embassy in Israel continues to coordinate with Israeli authorities and local contacts to ensure that all Filipinos are safe and accounted for amid the conflict there. In keeping with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive for an all-of-government approach, we are getting an update on the situation today from multiple agencies. Joining me here in Manila is AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar, and also via Zoom we have Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega in Manila. But we are going to start with the Philippine Ambassador to Israel, Pedro Junie Laylo Jr. in Tel Aviv. They are joining us via Zoom, so we will have a briefing from the team there, and we will open it up to questions immediately because I know that your time is limited. Thank you so much for joining us, Ambassador Laylo. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, from us here in Israel, and good afternoon to everyone there in the Philippines. Thank you for joining us today and for giving us this opportunity to inform the public of the situation on the ground and the embassy's efforts to protect the safety and well-being of Filipinos amid the conflict in southern Israel. We take this opportunity to assure not just our kababayan here in Israel, but also their families there in the Philippines, who we know are anxious to find out how their loved ones are coping in this difficult time. I am joined here today by our embassy officers who have tirelessly worked with me since the hostilities started. May I introduce Consul General Anton Mandak, Vice Consul Patricia Narajos, Vice Consul Terry Bautista, Labor Attaché Rudy Gabasan, Welfare Officer Dina Ponciano, Defense Attaché Ewald Manay, and Commercial Counselor Vike Roaring. They will all join me in responding to your questions. As earlier announced by Secretary Manalo this morning, 2 of our kababayan are killed following the violent attacks of Hamas in southern Israel. These have been confirmed by Israeli authorities. Last night, in the most difficult phone call in my career, I spoke to the wife of one of the victims to inform her of this sad news and to convey our sympathies. I promised her that the embassy will provide all the necessary assistance she needs. The President will also speak to her today to convey his personal condolences and offer additional assistance. The embassy will not disclose the identities of the deceased in line with the family's request for privacy at this very difficult time. May the memory of our kababayan be a blessing. We continue to work closely with Israeli authorities and local contacts to find the 3 Filipinos who are still missing. Despite sporadic rocket attacks and the distressing images you see in the news and on social media, these depict only certain areas in Israel, particularly areas surrounding the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military has retaken control of the communities infiltrated by Hamas militants. Rocket attacks have considerably lessened, except in southern Israel. People can move freely in areas far from the combat zone, and we have returned to work here at the embassy since Sunday. As much as we would like to immediately extend assistance to our kababayan in conflict areas, the embassy must adhere to the strict travel restrictions enforced by Israeli authorities in these areas. However, the Israeli government assures us that during emergency situations, Israeli security authorities and the Home Front Command have established protocols for evacuating anyone who is in Israel, regardless of nationality and status. The embassy thus takes this opportunity to express its gratitude to Israel for ensuring the safety of Filipinos, especially the Israeli security forces who rescued our nationals and continue to risk their lives in finding the last missing Filipinos. We also thank the Israeli emergency and medical personnel who took care of our injured kababayan, as well as the kibbutzim who included our nationals in their evacuation operations. Meanwhile, the embassy's Migrant Workers Office and Overseas Workers Welfare Administration team continues to provide assistance to evacuated Filipinos relocated to safer ground or being treated for injuries. The MWO-OWA team has been working tirelessly in the last 2 days to ensure that all Filipinos are accounted for and that those affected are given medical emergency assistance. We continue to provide Filipinos in Israel with timely advisories, safety guidelines, and important instructions through our social media accounts and messenger platforms. We also regularly hold Zoom briefings with Filipino community leaders. While the situation remains tense and fluid, the embassy strives to provide factual and reliable updates and advice on the status of Filipinos in Israel and the situation on the ground. This is our message, and we welcome your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll start with the Nestor Corrales, Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Good afternoon, sir, from Manila. With the confirmed killing of 2 Filipinos, is the embassy not yet recommending the mandatory repatriation or evacuation?
We want to ask. Yeah. What's the question? Okay.
With the killing of 2 Filipinos there in Israel, is the embassy not yet recommending mandatory evacuation or repatriation?
Actually, we're not recommending that, no, because these fatalities happened during the day of attack, no, and the situation, the Israeli Defense Forces have already regained, no, the areas attacked by the Hamas, no. We have something that.
Okay.
Yes,
I contribute.
we are not recommending repatriation right now, and I think it's inaccurate to word it as mandatory repatriation because we are not recommending it now. And as the ambassador has mentioned, the killings happened on day 1, and the situation has considerably improved since then.
May I add to that?
Go ahead.
The embassy has not recommended it because mandatory repatriation or alert level 4 is called when the country has broken down, when the rule of law and everything about peace and order has broken down and it's descended to a full war throughout the country. That is not the case in the state of Israel. The 2 killings occurred because of the attack last Saturday, and the situation has turned to a certain semblance of normalcy, as the ambassador and his team have indicated. However, Israel now, by decision of the Foreign Ministry, is under alert level 2, meaning restricted deployment. We're not going to deploy new workers, which is actually the status quo anyway, because we still have to negotiate the agreement about caregivers and about the hotel workers. It's by a G2G agreement, the government to government, and right now there's no deployment. So we still urge precaution. The embassy already issued a travel advisory. We repeat that we do not recommend visits to Israel at the present time. I believe the ambassador will back me up on this, that this is still the continued advice. Although you can travel to Israel, there are flights, but if you have holy site visits, perhaps you could postpone it until after the conflict has subsided.
Thank you, Undersecretary De Vega. Eden Santos from Net 25.
Good afternoon po, sir. Tatanong ko lang po kung ano yung arrangement para doon sa mga kababayan nating nasawi, yung 2 Filipino po, para maiuwi po sila dito sa Pilipinas. May ganun na po bang pag-uusap or kahilingan yung family ng mga biktima?
Go ahead
Hello.
from the embassy in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, we have received a request for assistance po sa pagpapauwi ng dalawang nasawi at we are still coordinating with the authorities po sa pag-retrieve po ng body.
Clarification lang po, nasawi po yung 2 nating kababayan dahil dun sa mga pambobomba, pag-atake, or dahil po na-hostage sila?
Hindi po sana hostage, ma'am, but napatay po sila doon sa habang po umaatake po ang terrorist sa kanilang communities po.
Sa Gaza po ba yon? Sa Gaza po ba sila
Dito po
napatay?
hindi po sa kibbutz po. Kibbutz community ng Israel.
Border ng Gaza.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Next question. We're good? Okay, Ivan Mayrina, GMA7.
Yeah. Magandang hapon po. May we get more details, sirs, tungkol sa circumstances ng pagkamatay nitong 2 nating mga kababayan? Yeah, you said they were killed on the day of the attack in kibbutz. Ito ho ba'y nadamay sila nung nag-open fire itong mga Hamas militants, or were they hit by a bomb? Hindi ho sila na hostage and then later on murdered? Paano ho kaya nangyari?
Yung isa po ay habang pinepuwersa ng militante, mga terorista yung kanilang pinto. Pagbukas po ng pinto, niratrat po yung mag-amo, yung caregiver at saka yung kanyang amo. Yung isa po ay pinatay pero hindi po namin alam kung anong circumstance. Pero isa po siya dun sa mga natangay ng Hamas sa kasagsagan po ng pananalasa ng mga terorista.
So, na-hostage po siya initially and then later on murdered?
Hindi malinaw.
Hindi po. May I answer that?
Yes, please. Go ahead, sir.
Yung mga hostages dinadala sa Gaza para maging human shields. May tanong kanina about kung saan yung attacks po sa Gaza. Let's remember, the Hamas came from Gaza, pumasok sa southern Israel at commit ng acts of terror and violence. Dahil doon yung first day, maraming namatay kasi either tinamaan yung ng rockets, ng ganun, or pinagbabarel. Yun ang most likely nangyari sa isa. Hindi siya kinuwang hostage na dinala sa Gaza as binaril doon. Yun ang most likely nangyari po. But out of respect to the wishes of the family, as the ambassadors indicated, we're not going to give details. Perhaps the president will speak about it, but not for now, no po. We're not going to give more details on that other than namatay sila on Saturday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yusek De Vega, sir. Yesterday we had a briefing in the afternoon. Ang nabanggit po ninyo, may 7 na unaccounted. What is the number today, sir? In the last 24 hours, baka nagka-development.
Yes, I believe it was 7 and then -2, but let us clarify with the embassy. Ang alam namin is 7 missing, pero 2, deceased na. Is it 3 or 5? We'll ask the embassy now.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. I will just give po a recap of the figures as of this morning, early morning. Okay, so of the 32 that was reported missing to us, to the embassy, there are 2 confirmed deaths. And so 1 reported death, but this is subject to confirmation by DNA evidence And then there are still 3 missing. And 26 have been rescued so far. So na-update po yung figures, na-increase po yung amount na rescued. Thank you.
Yung injured po, ay, sorry.
We're still connected.
Yeah.
There is one
Sirs,
injured person.
One
and
injured.
recovering po siya ngayon at the hospital. So he's doing well. He underwent surgery and he's fine.
As of yesterday po, 2 injured. Can we have a clarification on the numbers of the injured? Isa lang po talaga?
From 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
One injured.
Initially, there were 2 who were brought to hospital. One of smoke inhalation, the other one of a gunshot wound. Yung pong dinala because of smoke inhalation na i-discharge na po. So, isa na lamang po ang nasa ospital ngayon.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank you. Okay. Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi, sir. Magandang hapon po. Sir, we respect the wish of the family not to disclose the identity of the fatalities of the victim, but at least can we have additional details like lalaki, babae po ba sila, ilang taon ba sila, tagasan po sila dito sa Pilipinas?
So I will just give a profile of the 2. Okay, so without disclosing any names. Okay, so the female is 33 years old and 6 years working here in Israel. And she's from Pangasinan. And she's newly married. But the husband is in the Philippines. And the other one is male. He's 42 years old. He comes from Pampanga. And he's married. So that's what we'll disclose for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am. Clarification lang po to our ambassador or the embassy staff. So aside from the 2 confirmed fatalities, meron pa hong isa tayong kino-confirm through DNA testing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you po. Ingat po kayo. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ambassador Laylo, Ambassador to Israel, Deputy Head of Mission Consul General Anthony Mandap, Vice Consul Patricia Narajos and Terry Bautista, Labor Attaché Rodolfo Gabasan, Defense and Forces Attaché Colonel Ewald Manay, Commercial Counselor Vical Angelo Roaring, and Welfare Officer Dina Ponciano. We wish you well and please keep safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be well. Okay, let's proceed with our briefing here. We have with us the AFP spokesperson, Colonel Aguilar, and we still have Yusek de Vega with us. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon. I am here to assure everybody that with the guidance of our President, His Excellency President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., the Armed Forces of the Philippines is prepared to execute evacuation operation should there be a need for that. And we already came up with a plan on how to do it, and this will be a whole of nation approach because what is important for us is the safety of our countrymen there in the conflict area.
Go ahead, Maricel.
Sir, clarification. So paano po yung magiging plano natin? Because yesterday, ang sinasabi po ni na Yusek de Vega, medyo mahirap yung sa repatriation. Kasi kung halimbawa yung manggagaling sa Gaza, sarado naman yung border ng Israel. So ano po yung ibang options? Paano po?
Can we show the slide, please? Because we have a plan here. Okay. We have identified first the temporary safe haven where we can bring our countrymen should there be an escalation of hostility. Aside from that, we also identified airport of embarkation, 2 airports, where we can consolidate those who will be evacuated, and that will be Now, the mode of transport, we will be using at least 2 C-130 and 1 C-295 should this plan be executed. C-295 and C-130 initially.
Yes. There are no Filipinos asking for a repatriation so far from Israel. However, we have from Gaza, and the number keeps increasing. I believe yesterday I said there were about 38. According to Ambassador Wilfredo Santos, there are now 70. So we haven't repatriated them yet because, as I said yesterday po, naka-blockade ang Gaza, tsaka pati yung kanilang borders, both to Israel and to Egypt. So now it's a diplomatic approach. We are using diplomacy along with other countries in order to have the borders open so that we could have yung mga kababayan natin, so we could have our countrymen and women go through the border. And kung kailangan ng evacuation, well, nandyan, kung hindi commercial flights, the AFP, as announced, will be able to fly them home. If they pass through Egypt border, if they're able to pass through Egypt border, our embassy in Cairo will fly them home on commercial flights. Remember, there are 70. It might increase, no? These are Filipinas married to Palestinians. They're in Gaza. Pero sa Israel mismo, no evacuation required yet, but our AFP is ready.
Okay.
Go ahead, Eden Santos, Net 25.
Yusek, yun pong mga kababayan nating Filipina na nag-asawa po ng Palestinian, welcome na mag-repatriate sa Pilipinas. How about po yung kanilang mga Mr. na Palestino? Are they welcome also?
Yes. Yes, there's a situation there. Kasi po, restricted nationals yung Palestinians, no, sa atin. On the other hand, they're married to Filipinas na under our laws, under immigration laws, pwedeng pumunta Pilipinas. We, so far, we have not indicated we will not allow them to come back, to enter the Philippines. An issue is, will they be allowed to leave Gaza, either by the local officials or in border, either in Egypt or Israel? Kasi mga kababayan natin, we can feel confident that for humanitarian reasons, papayagan silang makalis. Kasi hindi naman sila combatants, so hindi sila part of the conflict. So I cannot answer that now, but we are not preventing them from flying home to the Philippines with their wives if we're able to extract them.
Okay.
Sir, kay Colonel Medel, Aguilar po. Sir, pakilinaw lang po yung mode of yung transit from kunwari Israel or Gaza to Egypt. Yung magiging ano po ng C-130 natin tsaka C-295 if in case po na magkaroon na nga ng repatriation.
Yes, we will be traveling, we will be sending 2 aircrafts, C-130 aircrafts and 1 C-295. And we have already identified the Adana Sakirpasa Airport, Turkey, as the temporary safe haven. From there, we will be shuttling Filipinos who are affected by the conflict with the identification of Haifa Airport and the Tel Aviv Airport in the Ben Gurion Airport. But all of this will only be executed based on the recommendation or instruction coming from other government authorities.
Basta kayo po naka-ready lang.
Yes, we are ready because that is the primary concern of our President.
Okay. Any further questions? I think we're good. Okay. Yusek de Vega, any further updates from you, sir?
Yes, the assurance that the embassy is not just in Tel Aviv, but also in Amman, which handles Palestine, and Cairo, are doing all they can. And it's a whole of government approach, the DMW, the OWA, we heard the AFP and DND, and other agencies are in this, all in compliance with instructions of the President. We hope for peace to eventually return to the region.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yusek de Vega and Colonel Aguilar from the AFP. Any last words?
Let me use this opportunity to also express our condolences to the bereaved family of our two countrymen who died in Israel.
Our deepest sympathies to our kababayans. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Good afternoon.